Good morning, everybody. Hopefully the server won't crash. The live server must have crashed, but I'm back, and maybe you didn't even know I was here before because I think it just evacuated. It said it evacuated the show from the server. But anyway, let's get started. It is Monday, and rocky roads. I'll tell you, Ruthie rocks, rocky roads. Yeah, it all happens. Anyway, I don't see anybody watching because you probably thought I went away, but I'm here. Maybe you'll watch us later. So today we have 9,448 available homes. You listed 77 homes over the weekend. And of those 77 that were just listed, 22 of them were 440,000 and under. The median price of 440,000, according to applied analysis. I adjusted I think I had 445, and then we adjusted it to because they do Clark County, so that brought it down a little bit. We, of course, in our stats, normally we just eliminate Boulder City, Pahrump, and Mesquite, but I think they include those. So anyway, Pahrum's in Nye County anyway, but I don't know. Whatever, they adjust theirs differently than we do, but we want to be in line with what the Review Journal reports because we don't want to confuse people. That's for sure. And it's all about the criteria. Anyway, we have 127 days of inventory. That's pretty good, going on 4 months. We're getting more to a normal market. Do you remember when normal was 6 months of inventory? Hallelujah. We're selling about 68 homes a day. And that's much different than last year, same time period when we were selling 177 homes per day. Um, the interesting stat is in 2020, we were selling 618 homes per the year that were a million plus, which is what? 12 into that's like, 50 a month. That's amazing. Now we're selling 5 a day or 150 a month, and we're keeping up with last year. So from 2020, we jumped to 2021, where we went from 12 up to 50. So that market is still cooking, everybody. That market is still cooking, and it's cooking more than it ever has before. So a lot of people are moving here with money. We said 8.4 people per hour are moving here, and 35% of them are from California, for a total of 6,100 per month, and 35% from California, 8.4 per hour, of which a third of those, let's say 3, are Californians. Anyway, they're bringing their money because prices are high there. So when they sell, they have more money to bring here, and they're buying those $1 million plus homes. And because of that, the builders have, of course, gone on board, like Heron and some of the other builders. They're building these wonderful places where $1 million home buyers can live and have views. And it's just amazing what's going on in our city. Anyway, we are at 440 median price, like I said, and I looked at today's prices. They're continuing to go down a little bit. We're under 430 right now for the month. So we shall see. And that brings me to what I wanted to talk about today. So let me find my story here. Okay. What's ahead for mortgage rates and home prices? Well, so now by the end of 2022, which is in sight, correct? It's in sight. We're all wondering what's going to happen in the housing market next year, and what will that mean if you're thinking about buying a home, or if you're thinking about how you're going to market your real estate. Here's a look at the latest expert insights on both mortgage rates and home prices, so we can all make our best move possible. If you don't have a farm, everybody, I'm telling you, you've got to get a farm. You've got to create connections, qualified relationships. Do not buy leads. Everybody's selling the same leads. Do not buy them. Create your own personal connections with people, and that will serve you well. It has served hundreds of agents over decades. So it's a tried and true way to have a sustainable business. And then someday you can sell that business. That's the other good news. Now, here's what they're telling us about mortgage rates. Let's look here to the next slide I have. We'll hide that baby, and we will put this one up. Mortgage rates are rising this year. Well, we know that. In their latest quarterly report, Freddie Mac explains just how fast the rates have been. So just 1 year ago, rates were under 3%. That means while mortgage rates are not as high as they were in the 80s, they have more than doubled in the past year. Mortgage rates have never doubled in a year before. Mortgage rates have never doubled in a year before. That is quite a statement. Because we were in unprecedented territory, it's hard to say with certainty where mortgage rates will go from here. And projecting the future of mortgage rates is far from an exact science, but experts do agree that moving forward, mortgage rates will continue to respond to inflation. If inflation stays high, mortgage rates likely will go higher. Yes. But there is that chance that inflation will kind of, let's say, get moderate and maybe even go down to a reasonable number. So home prices are going to vary then by market. So let me just hide this one and see what the next slide says. Yes, as buyer demand has eased this year, okay, we know that, right? We're down to less than half the number of sales that we were doing last year this time per day. A buyer demand has eased this year in response to those higher rates. Home prices have moderated in many markets, and we talked about that earlier. So, in terms of the forecast for next year, expect projections to be mixed. It says expert projections are mixed, and I'm telling you, expect them to be mixed. So the general consensus is home prices appreciation will vary by local market, with more significant changes happening in overheated areas. And this is from the chief economist at First American. And he says, home prices appreciation has slowed in all 50 markets that we track. But the deceleration is generally more dramatic in areas that experience the strongest peak appreciation rates. Now, I don't think that happened here. I don't think that we are our own little island when it comes to the statistics. This market, I mean, where in the country are people moving here 8.4 per hour, moving to moving to these other markets? I don't see it. So now I will caveat that by saying I know that Arizona is a hot market too. So we're in slight competition with them, I'm sure. But I think they appreciated their appreciation went really high. So maybe that's one of these markets where the prices are going to dramatically drop. I don't know. I don't know. It's all conjecture at this point, but it's things to think about. And here's the most important thing for today. Basically, some areas still see slight price growth while others see slight price declines. And I can tell you, I think that we're one of the slight price declines. I think 5% is slight for me. And it all depends on other factors at play in our market, like supply and demand. Now, we just learned last week that the new home builders are coming back on their permits. They're not out there getting as many permits. So that could mean that we may have a supply and demand problem next year. Yeah, if they're not building as many homes, because of the homes that we sell, let's see, I think there was 800 per month in 2020. Then in 2021, it jumped up to 1,000. And I think some months this year went up to as high as 1,100. And again, all fueled by those low interest rates. And now they're pulling back on their number of permits. So they're not going to be selling that many homes because there's not going to be that many to sell because they have to build them. And to build them, you have to have permits. So that's how that goes. So I think that we may have a supply and demand problem at some point. We shall see. We shall see. I told you last week there's $29 billion worth of projects going on the Strip and in surrounding the surrounding Las Vegas Valley. And what that means, everybody, is that more jobs are going to be created. More people are going to be coming here. So like I said, we're a different market. We're totally different, and just keep that in mind. However, let's say that we do decrease 5%, and if I use the median price for January, which was 445,000, you take 95% of that, you're going to get down to 422,750. That's not such a bad price for a medium priced home, in my opinion. So that could play into, maybe we were going to sell more homes. Wouldn't that be great? Anyway, the future, it's just normalizing itself, everybody. It's just going to normalize. I know inflation's high and interest rates are high, but those things will sort themselves out next year. I'm Pollyanna, and I think that inflation will come down. I think there's so many factors that go into the inflation. Yes, the food. Is it the blockchain? What is it? Is it the oil, and why? And there's so many things that factor into the inflation, but I kind of feel it's going to go down. I don't think it's going to go much higher. I really don't. I hope I'm right. And you know that the home industry is 18% of our uh, gross national product. 18%. That's a huge, huge number. So I hope and pray that inflation goes down. Interest rates maybe come down under 7. That wouldn't be bad. And so if you want to know what's happening, just stay connected with me, and I will continue to monitor these things and bring this to your attention. So let's talk third part of my show a little bit about what's going on in my world. My world, let's see, today we are having a 1031 tax exchange class from noon to 3. Go to bee.vegas. If you haven't signed up, go to bee.vegas. It is a terrific class, and you get 3 CE credits, and you learn how to talk to these investors. What did we say earlier? We said that there's 32. Let's see, let's bring this up real quickly. Hide this real quickly. Down here, 32 sales per day to investors. And guess what? You need to be able to talk to them. They might call you. They might get in touch with you. And you may have other of your sphere of influence who says, I think I want to buy a home. I think I want to buy an investment property. Or they're going to have kids. And so they're going to make their current residence, they're going to make that a rental. And then they're going to go buy another home. Well, what happens when they want to sell that rental? Because for whatever reason, they can do a 1031 tax exchange and not have a tax hit when the prices that they sell it when the price they sell it is more than the price they bought it for, and that deferred tax goes on and on. And we love the 1031 tax exchange. A couple years ago, when the elections were going on in 2020, people were saying, "Oh, the sky is falling. They're going to do away with the 1031s," but they didn't, and that's a wonderful thing. So come to the class today from 12 to 3 and learn. And you know what? When you come to a class, there's some teachers that they just go on and talk, and you don't really get the flow. But this particular instructor, she's fantastic. She goes all over the country teaching, and she gives you the basics, and then she gives you the middle, and then she gives you the meat. So I really hope that you sign up and take the class. It's only $20, and you get a free lunch, and it's from 12 to 3. You can Zoom. They all count for credits, whether you Zoom or if you're live. Thank you to the division for making Zoom part of our letting it be part of our required hours, since we need 36. And 18 of those can be electives, and of course this is a great one to use. I love you all. I hope you're going to have a wonderful week. I will see you Wednesday, and I want you to know that we are going don't ask me. I don't know what happened. Anyway, one of the other thing I wanted to tell everybody, because we're having a whole I don't know. There's 55 videos. There's 55 videos in on the site, and we are adding new videos. The information that I showed you today, that's a daily blog. And we do a monthly blog where we really recap the Las Vegas market. If sometimes we do, like I think this past month we did the conservatory. So anything that we think is going to pique your sphere of influence, your database's interest, that's what we decide to blog. Um, so please, 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 please go to agentformula.com. Check us out. I don't think you'll be disappointed in all the content, and you will look like an authority. It has a great IDX. It has the nosy neighbor, which I love, and lots of features and benefits for you as a realtor. And it should be part of your plan for 2023 to get the website and start producing content out there. I love you all. I gotta go. It's a Monday.